NASA's Webb Space Telescope captured new images of a horse-shaped nebula, and it's so powerful it might have just shattered our understanding of the universe. Well, that's the problem. The James Webb Space Telescope is upsetting the apple cart. Suddenly, we realize that we may have to rewrite all the textbooks about the beginning of the universe. In the Orion Nebula, astronomers might have discovered an entirely new class of objects. One well-known star nursery is Serpens. Imagine for a second if I told you that the James Webb Telescope has discovered an anomaly in space. There are a number of such structures, not just one or two. Using information gathered by the James Webb Space Telescope, NASA has just identified 6 enormous galaxies, and it's possible they may only have to revise the textbooks. Scientists are perplexed. We should examine their findings. Primacy: large old galaxies. The James Webb Telescope found 6 luminous red spots against a rather mundane backdrop among the oldest and biggest galaxies discovered so far. These spots date back up to 13.3 billion years, certainly not your average spots. The reddish hue of these 6 spots suggests they formed quite soon after the Big Bang, within the last few hundred million years. Until recently, scientists thought these structures couldn't have developed during that time. Contrary to what scientists had previously believed, the formation of stars and galaxies did not take nearly as long after the Big Bang. Since these old galaxies were already huge and teeming with star formation, one of these universe-breaker galaxies dwarfs the Milky Way by a factor of 10 and is 1 trillion times larger than our Sun. The cosmos didn't start the way we believed it did, and the gloomy ages might not have been so gloomy after all. This finding has troubled many. Novel results from exoplanet molecule studies show finding an exoplanet that might support life has become an obsession for astronomers. A candidate that exhibits signs of life is K218b, one of many. James Webb recently discovered carbon-bearing chemicals like methane and carbon dioxide and also detected water vapor in its atmosphere. It's possible that K218b has an ocean of water and an atmosphere rich in hydrogen, ideal circumstances for life. Dimethyl sulfide was also detected, but you won't believe it until you hear this. On this planet, only living things make that stuff. Where did the cosmic web come from? A cluster of 10 galaxies was discovered 830 million years after the Big Bang by astronomers utilizing the James Webb Space Telescope. It's like discovering a cosmic picture you had as a kid. To what extent does this matter? Simply put, our present knowledge does not support the idea that these galaxies existed during that time. Evidently, that comprehension was wrong. A gigantic black hole at the heart of a galaxy known as a quasar anchors this structure, which is approximately 3 million light-years long. It's possible this string of galaxies may expand into a massive cluster similar to the Coma cluster, familiar to us from our cosmic neighborhood. Early supermassive black holes expand by devouring gas clouds, dust, and stars in motion. Supermassive black holes operating in the early cosmos, even before they've had a chance to gorge themselves on their environment, have been observed by astronomers thanks to James Webb. More than that, it caught the X-ray image of the galaxy Z1, which has the most distant black hole ever seen. At a distance of 13.2 billion light-years from Earth, Z1 allows us to observe the black hole in its early stages shortly after the Big Bang, some 470 million years ago. Astoundingly, this black hole is equivalent in mass to the sum of all the stars in its host galaxy, with an estimated mass ranging from 10 million to 100 million times that of the Sun. The Horsehead Nebula, also known as Barnard 33, is located approximately 300 light-years away. The instruments on the Webb telescope have allowed scientists to observe the lighted edge of the Horsehead Nebula and its small-scale structures for the first time. Its light comes from a nearby blazing star and originated in a collapsing interstellar cloud. Even though the gas clouds surrounding the Horsehead Nebula have mostly diffused, the dense material that makes up its distinctive pillar shape is still hanging on. However, astronomers think the Horsehead Nebula will be around for another 5 million years or so before it begins to dim. Supernova dust, like that from Cassiopeia A, formed 340 years ago in the constellation Cassiopeia as a result of a stellar explosion 11,000 light-years distant. Its remnants are visible to this day. The heated dust, composed of heavy elements like sulfur, oxygen, argon, and neon, plays a significant role in the formation of planets and life. These small pieces, now visible to the naked eye, leave a cosmic trail of bullet holes as they rip through the gas, a testament to James Webb's work. The Serpens Nebula, located almost 1,300 light-years from Earth, is a birthplace for numerous stars. Protostellar outflows, gas jets released by newborn stars as they interact with their environment, were discovered here. Never before have these outflows been observed pointing in the same direction. The James Webb Telescope also advanced our understanding of the planet-forming disk known as the Bat Shadow, resembling a flapping bat. Thanks to the James Webb Telescope, we are learning a great deal more about the dense core of our galaxy. The most current high-resolution picture of the Sagittarius C area, located around 300 light-years from the supermassive black hole at the Milky Way center, reveals almost 500,000 stars. Needle-like features in ionized hydrogen that contradict established patterns were particularly perplexing, as well as a cluster of protostars undergoing formation. Lastly, the telescope broke all prior records in 2023 by revealing the furthest distant galaxy ever seen, designated JADES GSZ14. It is unusual for a galaxy this distant to shine so brightly. The fact that JADES GSD-130, its forerunner, was born 320 million years after the Big Bang adds an extra layer of intrigue. The light emanating from this older 1,600 light-year wide object originates mainly from young stars instead of a developing supermassive black hole. This means that the mass of the galaxy is many hundreds of millions of times that of the Sun. Oxygen is also included in the light emissions. If you're still confused, allow me to explain. By the time our galaxy came into view, many generations of huge stars had already lived and died. A super-Earth. Additionally, 137 light-years away, scientists have discovered a new planet that might be ideal for life, TOI 715b. It follows the path of a red dwarf star, which is smaller and cooler than our Sun. We have the best chance of discovering potentially habitable planets around stars of this kind because of their reputation for supporting rocky planets. As a result of their reduced size and lower surface temperatures, red dwarfs allow planets to approach them in a more hospitable orbit where the potential exists for the presence of liquid water. At a rate that dwarfs Earth's annual orbit, TOI 7115b completes one full revolution around its star every 19 days. Planets like TOI 7115b are considerably easier to see because of their fast orbits, which lead them to pass in front of their stars more frequently. The possibility exists that the same system contains another planet of Earth's size. Ethereal jellyfish. My favorite one is coming up next. In a distant galaxy cluster known as AL 2877, scientists have just found a massive jellyfish. Only a tiny band of radio radiation can reveal this cosmic jellyfish, which is wider than 1 million light-years. An intriguing phenomenon has scientists wondering if this object could be a radio phoenix. Normally, its emission is strong at lower radio frequencies, but it suddenly disappears at 200 MHz. In terms of the frequency range in which it was seen, this structure is the largest of its kind to date. A cosmic event such as a galaxy collision re-energized it after it had faded over millions of years after its birth from a massive explosion, such as a black hole outburst. Because of this, it becomes quite visible at some radio frequencies while becoming completely invisible at others. Nebula of Orion. Another first was the discovery of a novel carbon molecule, methyl-cadan, by scientists utilizing NASA's James Webb Space Telescope. The ability to build more complex carbon-based molecules essential for life is why this molecule is so important. This chemical was discovered in the Orion Nebula, in a young stellar system known as D20-356, which is located approximately 1,350 light-years distant. Nearby hot young massive stars provide intense ultraviolet light that would typically disintegrate complex organic molecules in the star system where it was discovered. Contrary to expectations, though, the group thinks that this UV radiation could aid in the production of methyl-CIN. The formation of more complicated carbon molecules can be stimulated by its presence once it is formed. Volcanoes made of ice. NER-16. Ceres is a dwarf planet with a volcano in the asteroid belt, which lies between Jupiter and Mars. It's true that this volcano doesn't typically release molten rock and fire. This one couldn't be more different. Scientists think it's a cryovolcano, and it goes by the name Anna Mons. It is believed that rather than erupting hot molten rock, it releases ice, salts and other frozen substances. Ceres, which was previously believed to be geologically dormant, is experiencing this. Enceladus, Europa, and Triton are just a few of the moons in our solar system that have experienced this kind of volcanic activity when frozen substances are ejected. A space-dwelling alcohol spray. Additionally, you should be aware of Comet Lovejoy. Lovejoy was a very active and brilliant comet, unlike any comet in recent memory. In January 2015, when it was closest to the Sun, it released 20 tons of water each second. Recent research, however, has shown that this comet has been releasing a considerable amount of alcohol and even sugar into space. At its most powerful, it could detonate enough alcohol to fill 500 wine bottles each second. If only those who enjoy imbibing could get their hands on it. Comets may have brought the building blocks for life to develop on Earth, according to this finding. The galaxy's secret defense mechanism. Were you aware that the Milky Way at its core functions as a tremendous particle accelerator, ejecting charged matter beams into space at nearly the speed of light? Something intriguing about these cosmic rays close to the galactic center was just found out by scientists. There appears to be an enigmatic barrier that stops a large number of cosmic rays from entering the core, even though there are plenty of them leaving. Sagittarius A, the supermassive black hole at the center of our galaxy, is thought by scientists to be responsible for the complicated combination of magnetic fields that could be causing this barrier.